Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Boozer here. In today's video, we're going to go over some strategies for Go Second teams for the arena. I want to focus on more budget friendly, free to play friendly. Just from my experience playing two end game accounts, free to play, and grinding them up from day one. Um, so I have a decent sense of what newer players go through in the arena and kind of what works, what will likely work for him just for building teams for Go Second. Um, not everyone can run speed teams. Speed teams are probably still the most efficient way to farm medals, but like making Go Second teams is definitely worth your time, especially when you start branching out into tag team arena, or if you are not so lucky with speed gear. So let's jump right into the arena. I want to focus on, I guess, three different kinds of teams for different stages of progression, I guess. So hold on, let me grab my extra tokens here. So I just want to say, like, basically, like, when you want to make a Go Second team, you want to focus on kind of being able to absorb a hit, and being able to basically cleanse or protect yourself from any kind of control, and then you nuking back at them when you have a chance. So the best way for that is, assuming you have limited gear, your nuker probably won't be as good. So you want to target kind of fragile teams that will go first. So, other speed teams, you let them go first, they nuke you, assuming you have some gear to survive. You can basically return the nuke and do more damage to them. That's the idea. Okay, so we can go over some different levels of teams, I guess. So let's do this. So I made three teams here, three different levels of gear, and my presumed progression for players, I guess. So in the beginning, you have your starter, you have epics to make things work. You move on a little bit, and maybe you pick up a legendary, maybe you do a fusion, but the idea is still kind of the same. You have some kind of cleanser that helps your team recover from debuffs. You have some kind of protection champion, or a set, maybe a shield set, if you can throw a shield set on a high HP champion. Um, and you have a nuker. You have some kind of nuker. So, and the nuker has to be, obviously good enough to do some damage. So, let's start off with this team. This is my like very budget, like early game team. You start off with Seeker. Seeker in the league is really good. It has the defense aura. So defense aura here, and then his passive's really cool where when he gets hit with a crit, he spreads defense up to your whole team. So his passive will spread to Elhain, Scathix, and then Sepulcher, like this, if he's in the lead. So you want to put him in the lead if you can. Elhain's your starter. Scathix is your cleanser, and then Sepulcher has a interesting passive where she has a chance to protect your champion from incoming damage. So this is a very like, just to illustrate how budget and how limited your resources are, or how limited your options are. I tried to put together this team to see if it can work. So let's see if it works against this team. It looks like this team is a blender team, so maybe our team just gets destroyed here. So let's see what happens. Yep. Yeah, so you see the defense up coming up and from the Seeker when he gets hit, but the damage incoming is just too strong versus this team. So this team's not going to work against this team. We will use one of the other teams to, let's see how the other teams will do. So that team is a little bit better built, put together than this team. This team is a very early game team. So let's try the what I would say like the more mid game team. So basically, you run Seeker again in the lead. Magnar's your free to play nuker. Molly's your first legendary or a legendary. You don't necessarily need Molly. But Molly's the only champion I have in a shield set. So at this stage in the game, I assume you can put together like some kind of random shield set on a champion. For example, if I had a shield set on one of these champions, it would have been a lot better, but I don't. And then you complete a fusion, and or it's a cleanser in some better gear. So, for example, Pytheon here, he's in Stone Skin, so he will survive any kind of nuke in the beginning and be able to revive and cleanse. Obviously, he's a huge fusion, but he can be other champions as well. But this is assuming you can at least put together like a 4-piece Stone Skin or some kind of with some kind of other random set like a shield set, protection set. Again, assuming you have somewhat limited champion pool to pull from. I put this together to illustrate a more mid-game team. So we can try again against the same team. So this time the shield set definitely absorbed a lot more damage. See defense up get applied from the Seeker. Molly comes back. Molly's really good because she gives you turn meter. Again, you don't need Molly, but Molly's one of the champions with the shield set on this account. Seeker comes, doesn't really matter. We just try to control one of the champions. Seeker is also really good because he can control one of the champions. The cleanser wasn't necessary against this team because it's a blending team, and then your nuke gets a chance to go, and you win. All right. So I mean, it's a pretty fragile strategy, right, against this speed team. So you have to just be able to take the hit. So sets like shield set, any kind of stone skin set will obviously like counter these types of teams really hard. Um, so for this team, we can try this team, which I basically think is like more advanced late game team. So obviously a Mithrala, which is a basically you're pretty end game at that point. You pick up Mithrala, which can't be which has like a built-in like immunity set. It can't be debuffed because their accuracy is so high or accuracy resistance is so high. You have Tormund, which is a Void legendary. You don't really need Tormund. You could use another CC champion or another damage dealer. But Tormund's really good because his passive is just really good against speed teams. When against Arbiter, you always have a chance to CC their team right away. And Sandlash instantly covers 50% of the damage reduction when your champions start getting a bit low. So it's just huge protection. I mean, if you're like super endgame, you would replace Sandlash with like Necrit or another protection champion that just covers your team like Ursula. And we chose Candrafon as our nuker just because Candrafon's really good against magic, and Candrafon's just really hard to kill, especially against Arbiter teams, which gives him the buff after the turn meter boost. So, yeah. I actually use this team for my tag team arena, both defense and offense against similar teams, so speed teams. Let's see what happens here. We get debuffed. You notice how much damage we take from that Ronda, but we still survive. Sandlash has her passive up, which basically gives us all ally protection, and she puts block damage on herself. So a lot of damage actually came in, but because of the ally protection, it protected us from basically dying. So she's a very good budget option for Go second team, like as a protector. So in this case, like we have some options. We can go Hex. Hex would neutralize the team or boost boost our damage, or we can just cleanse and try to preserve our two damage dealing champions. So I think I'm just gonna preserve them. So the shield helps them live. We can go CC right here, and we nuke, and that's GG. Alright, so that kind of gives you the idea. So Mithrala is basically very hard to debuff. So Sirus couldn't debuff her, and then she cut right in and cleansed. Well, she couldn't be debuffed, and then she cleansed, and then our team got a go right after. So that's kind of the idea. Yeah, for this team. Let's try to find a team for that rare team. I want to show that it actually works. Fight something that has somewhat similar kind of jankiness. Maybe this team. I think we're gonna get blasted though. We can't really fight a team that goes defense down. This team would probably blast us. This team. Let's fight this guy. Let's see what happens. This team definitely works. I just haven't been. It worked in practice. I fought like two teams, but these teams are a little bit better. Okay. Nope. Yeah. The gear on these champions are not as good, so we won't be able to get a turn. Let's try maybe this team. Provoke. Let's try this team. This team's like kind of jankier. It's harder to. Obviously, we're fighting quite high in gold 5 with a team that's probably like gold 1. But I just want to make sure that maybe we can sneak out a win to show that it works in practice. Elhain dropping even with the defense up. Not very good. And here we don't have a chance to win without our damage dealer. Alright. Let's try. We can try small adjustment here. I don't want to go too crazy. But I need a way to protect Elhain from dying. Let's use Molly again. She's in the shield set, so I feel like she's okay here. Okay, let's see what happens here. Yeah. Gotta go. That was pretty strong, actually. No attack up. That was pretty strong, actually. No attack up, Elhain. Nuked all three of the three of the team. All right, we did it. But obviously, like we had to make some adjustments because that earlier team was just too weak against these types of like better form teams. So not the best showcase on the very basic entry level team. But I just want to go over the three teams again. Anyways, guys, quick look at the 3 teams that I was using, and I'll go over the gear real quick on champions that I was using. Okay, so here we go. So Mithrala's in a 4-piece stone skin. Yes, her gear is pretty good. She has good stats. Obviously, you don't need super good stats, but you do need the 4-piece stone skin to avoid dying on your first hit. Molly's in a shield set. She's fast, smallish HP, enough accuracy to CC people. Seeker's a great candidate for a shield set. I ran Seeker in a shield set for a long time, but I have him in Guardian gear. He's just my Hydra Seeker. Decent speed, decent survivability stats. Elhain was my rare nuker from my starter nuker from way back when. Just damage stats, nothing crazy. Not even in Savage gear. Scathix in leftover pieces. Ideally, your cleanser is like decently fast, so it has a chance to cut in. Macandrophon has good stats in Swift Parry, so I do use him for tag team 3. It's good enough for defense, good enough for offense in tag team 3, so he's actually geared pretty well. Obviously, like if you have weaker nukers, you won't be attacking super tanky teams anyways. You'll still probably do fine. Torments and stun gear. Again, tag team 3 viable, just fast, some damage, good accuracy. Sandlash and Guardian gear. She takes damage, but she takes block. She has block damage on herself, so it's actually a good candidate. She heals up. Built her for some damage so she can support nuke if Candrafon fails. Pytheon in Stone Skin so he can survive the hits, cleanse, and revive. Has resistance as well. This is a plat viable build, so obviously if you guys have less gear, just scale it down, give him 4-piece stone skin, make sure he survives, cleanses. Basically, if you have 4-piece stone skin, they can be a go second. You just survive 1 hit, you take 1 turn, and that'll be perfectly viable. Magnar is actually in decent gear. He was my spirit nuker for a long time. Yeah, so he's decently built. He can do some damage. And yeah, that's it. I think that's it. All right, guys. Yeah, I hope you guys like maybe get some ideas from this. I mean, there's 3 different types of go second teams. So I'll go back 3 different types of go second teams. Obviously various degrees of progression in the game. Types of gear, like you basically want like a shield set to take a hit or stone skin to take a hit. Maybe you need a cleanser if you're going up against a team that has some CC effects, and you want a nuker that can basically end the game or at least cripple the other team with 1 hit. And of course, you want to target teams that are more fragile to allow this to happen. So, yeah. I hope this gives you guys some ideas. Yeah, so these might make building go second teams a little bit easier. Alright, guys. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one.